Hey there, this is the One Boom, and welcome to my Black Ops 7 initial review. This review is after a lot of playtime. We are almost Prestige 2. We have done now multiple 8-hour streams, so hit the bell icon to get notified when those go live. And if, by the way, you're not subscribed, you should subscribe because I've been uploading a lot of content. The YouTube algorithm hasn't been super nice to me, so if you guys want to help me out by liking the video, sharing it, and of course hitting that all-important bell by the subscribe button would be really important for me, mean a lot. Thank you so much if you do that. But we've been playing a lot. We've gotten multiple Swarm gameplays, we've gotten a nuke. I've already gotten the level 250 camo on the Peacekeeper, the Cyborg camo, because that's one of my favorite BO2 camos. Had to get it as fast as possible. And I've been writing down my pros and cons of the game, and I want to share them with you guys, my community, my fan base, because I want to build a space here for Call of Duty fans. I know I've covered lots of games in the past, and there are certain Call of Duty games I've opted out of, and I have given up on myself and on this channel multiple times, but my goal is by this time next year to get 20,000 people that love Call of Duty and want to be a part of a community here. So that's my main goal, and I have been working really hard towards it. But without any further ado, let's get right into my pros and cons for you guys so that you can know whether or not you should purchase the game, or if you just want to enter the discussion. If you want to talk about your thoughts about the game, the comment section here will be the place to do that. I will be reading comments and interacting with you guys down there as much as possible. So I think it's important to start with the cons first. We're going to go over the things that have been bothering me, making me rage, pissing me off, the things that on live stream I have been tempted to or have left matches because of. So the first things first is lag and performance issues, unfortunately. There's a mix of so many issues here, I don't know where to start. So first of all, there's performance issues on Xbox Series X. I've heard it's the same on PlayStation and on some PCs. There's a lot of Reddit threads about this, so if you're experiencing it, you're not alone. The game kind of chugs right now. It is not well optimized, but it doesn't seem to be like, oh, it's just poorly optimized. It seems to be some sort of bug with the texture streaming, because adjusting the texture streaming makes it slightly better or a lot worse. So something is definitely tanking the frame rate and hurting it that way, but also just on a server side, the game has this jittery, weird feel, and my character will randomly sort of rubber band forwards and backwards, causing the game to feel very unstable and unfinished, unfortunately. And I know they just moved to Azure servers, which, great, I've heard that's a better server infrastructure, I don't know much about it, but clearly that has come with its own issues, because even in low latency matches compared to the beta, I am having so many issues of my bullets just whiffing through people. Point blank, bullets not hitting. You'll see it in just about any one of my gameplays I upload in the next few weeks here. You're gonna see, if you watch the gameplay closely, there are gunfights I lose where my bullets just enter and leave the ether. There's always netcode tuning and connection stuff that they have to fix at launch. I get that, I understand that, but this is pretty damn bad. Usually it takes some sort of latency issue or packet loss issue for this kind of stuff to occur as often as it does, but there are entire periods of time where I see an enemy moving on my screen, I'm shooting, I stop getting hit markers for a notable amount of time, and then I'm immediately framed and I get told that I got shot 4 or 5 times, but on my screen, my character dropped faster than a heart attack and a bunch of my bullets just went into thin air. And I'm playing on a wired connection, I am playing with fiber internet, there's no reason for it to occur. I'm literally playing with a 3-foot Ethernet cord plugged directly into my Series X, so there's no reason I should be having those types of latency issues, especially when the game is telling me that my average ping is 20 milliseconds. That should not be happening as consistently as it is, and sometimes it coincides with that jitteriness, and then the performance drops on top of that create a situation where I'm having a performance drop and a server issue, and it sucks. So that's my biggest complaint about the game right now. If they tightened up the netcode, which I know netcode is just a general nothing term, but you know what I mean when I say it, when they tighten that up and they do some performance passes, hopefully things will be better. But if any Treyarch devs are listening to this, please do something. I want to love this game, and if this doesn't get fixed, it's going to be hard to keep playing this game throughout the year on my Xbox, because it feels like I'm getting thermal throttled into the ground just loading into a match of Raid TDM, and I don't think that should be happening. So now back to gameplay stuff. We have another issue that I complain about in a lot of different CoD games ever since they got rid of Pick 10, nade spam. There are so many grenades, and I think this comes down to a couple things. First of all, assault packs are earned too quickly. Everybody has assault packs. Everybody spawns in with assault packs. Assault packs aren't a late unlock, so everybody constantly is running on full ammo, full tactical, full lethal grenade, everything. And there are ways to get assault packs faster. There's like 3 different combinations of things you can do, whether it's an overclock or hybrid specialty, or just through running specialist or charge link. You just get field upgrades really fast. So everybody has grenades, and then the other issue is that grenades are actually interesting, like EMP grenades, fear grenades. The frag grenade and Simtex grenades, they're upgradable. So everybody's like leveling up their grenade and then wanting to test out what the new upgrade does. And oh my god, it's horrifying. I'm so sick of it already. I really need it to stop. And by the way, my issue isn't that I'm dying to these grenades either. I could just throw on flak jacket and tac mask and not really worry about it, right? It's just the amount of it. It's not a matter of they're killing me or even getting me killed. It's just the entire map is exploding all of the time. Think like Call of Duty Vanguard's version of Shipment. Everything is exploding and sparking and smoking, and then like grenades and everything leave such a giant plume of smoke it hurts visibility. So my issue isn't that I'm dying to them, it's that they make the game feel cheesy, overwhelming, overstimulating, and then there's so many little things that like just hurt your visibility, exploding all the time. And I love the particle and smoke effects, they're so immersive, but they absolutely ruin the experience actually. So either tone down the effects that come off of the explosives, or tone down the amount of explosives somehow, either by changing how assault packs work, or, I don't know, implementing a rework to create a class so not everybody just gets to spawn in with a free nade. My next directly gameplay related issue is AR balance. The assault rifles in this game are out of balance with the rest of the game. While I feel like marksman rifles have good weight to them and LMGs are also pretty heavy and chonky, and both of those classes receive a fair amount of flinch. And snipers also feel pretty good. In the right player's hands, they are absolutely devastating, but there's definitely a skill gap there, which I think is how it should be. Pistols are a little hit or miss, but that also could be because of the aim assist changes, but that's going to be a separate video. ARs are zero recoil beamers all the time. Even the Peacekeeper with the right attachments becomes this weird long-range beamer that feels like the game is just like Call of Duty Ghost TTK. Now I know some of this is probably to do with netcode issues and with that time to kill, time to die feeling sort of wrong. But the M15 Mod 0 or the Maverick assault rifle, like all of the assault rifles, pretty much except the Peacekeeper actually, just feel like these laser beam, no skill, insta-killing weapons that don't really feel in line with the longer time to kill that I thought we were going for with CoD. Grinding the Peacekeeper to level 250 was funny because people were coming into my chat and saying the time to kill's too fast, but I'm like, well, no, I mean, it feels perfectly normal because like the Peacekeeper requires actual skill, it has recoil and multiple shots have to connect and multiple headshots have to connect for that to even be useful. But if you get killed by a, M15 Mod 0 or you use the Maverick, you're just destroying people, you're just crushing people. So that definitely needs a change. SMGs actually have like recoil, both horizontal and vertical, the amount and the shake and everything, and then ARs are just lasers. So hopefully that can be tweaked. Next thing is spawns. I think spawns are like anything, like in every COD, they have to be tweaked, they have to be ran through, but currently TDM and kill confirm spawns are very, very confusing, and Hardpoint feels better than the beta, but oh my god, there are times that spawns happen that I would have never in 1,000 years of playing COD predicted the spawn would happen. I do not know how many times I've gotten a weird, sticky, almost domination-like spawn on Hardpoint, and nobody's anchoring. It just keeps spawning us there, and then we all run forward to the Hardpoint. The enemy team is running around the map all willy-nilly, and it just keeps plopping us back in the same area. We get spawn killed like we're in domination, and it feels very weird. Even fighting really newbie players that aren't controlling the spawns at all, the spawns will just be in their favor randomly and then our favor the next minute, and I know that Hardpoint has rotating spawns and I know how they are controlled. I've been researching that pretty much all year by just watching a ton of CDL gameplay so I can understand Hardpoint better because I suck at it. But the Hardpoint spawns in this game are not predictable. And a lot of other YouTubers, like Optic is currently doing their race to Prestige at the time of making this. They're saying the same thing, and so is Colt Havoc. The Hardpoint spawns are weird and I want them fixed, because Hardpoint's a really fun game mode, and I just would love it if the spawns would not just randomly throw me into the middle of the map or in the corner, far away from the Hardpoint like I'm playing Dom. My last big con, genuinely guys, is team balance. We're gonna say some really positive things about the matchmaking and the community, like, driven nature of this game soon, but holy shit. The team balancing almost makes it feel like we have full strength skill-based matchmaking. Me doing well doesn't give me harder opponents, but the entire time I'm playing, the teammates it thinks it can give me out of the open match-made lobby. It's an open match-made lobby. You can really tell that it is. I can't really express to you in a short amount of time, to not make this video way too long, just how obvious it is. Judging by like game chat, player behavior, how people are playing. I have been playing with strict skill-based matchmaking, it feels like, since 2014, and of course it got exponentially worse in 2019. I'm gonna tell you, this is not strict matchmaking at all. But out of the people it gives you, it will then balance the teams according to who it thinks can carry who, which was sort of an issue with engagement optimized matchmaking, and that's still sort of here. And it definitely hurts the experience. Because yeah, oh, my enemies aren't super sweaty movement gods now, but my team is also proficient in window licking, and I don't really know how to handle that. It makes the game play weird when your enemies aren't very good and your teammates are really not good. So there's definitely weird flow there, and it also could just be that I'm not used to being in matches that aren't completely engagement optimized with my skill being factored in. Because almost every match of like Black Ops 6 kind of felt the same, right? You never really got into those exceptional games where you could really pop off or really get dominated. It's just like this sort of weird meandering middle ground. But now I get into a nice low ping lobby and it's full of people that seemingly don't want to play for the objective on either team, and it kind of sucks. So those are my big cons: lag, performance issues, nade spam, team balancing, spawns like always, like every year, and AR balance I feel like is just a little out of whack, and I think we should probably reduce the recoil on SMGs a little bit, and then maybe we can talk after that. So those are my cons. Not that many big issues. Genuinely, the game is a ton of fun, and almost everything that I didn't like about the beta has been fixed, patched, nerfed, or changed. Now we're going to move on to the pros, and this is going to be a little bit faster because I don't want this video to be too long. It's also easier to tell you that I like something than to explain to you why I don't. So, first of all, pros: progression. Love the progression. If you like leveling things up in CoD, this game has the perfect pacing for this. Weapon leveling is fast. It's not overwhelming. It's not daunting. You can get through 2 weapon prestiges in a play session if you're playing game modes like Hardpoint, Domination, or Overload. And of course, if you're proficient and can get kills. But yeah. But it's great that we have weapons that we level up. We can prestige, get a special camo, prestige again, get a special camo. And then once they're, the weapons max prestige, just over the time and duration you play the game, just by getting kills with a weapon up to level 250, you will get a special mastery camo. That mastery camo, that takes a long time to get. That's like 3 full play sessions of non-stop grinding with one gun. And when I say play sessions, my play sessions were 8 hours long. And I was going hard. I was trying to go for swarms. I got a nuke. And I was using double XP tokens as often as possible. And it took me 3 long sessions to get to 250. So that is a nice long stretch goal that into the spring and summer I'll be unlocking level 250 camos for guns. And I really like that. And it's completely optional. You don't need those camos to do anything, to get mastery or anything like that. They're like their own individual per weapon universal mastery camo, and I adore that. And they're very nostalgic because most of them are modeled after Black Ops 2 camos, as well as some new and unique ones, which I'm really happy about. So, progression is great. When it comes to leveling up weapons, getting kills with grenades and using tacticals and then getting overclocks for those and then upgrading them. And then you have your normal levels of like unlocking perks and equipment and weapons, and you prestige and wipe it all and then come back, you use your prestige token. It's classic prestige. It's very engaging. It's great because when you reset your prestige, you might keep some weapons because of blueprints and stuff, so it's not just like the old days, but you have to change your playstyle because now you don't have blank, 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 and blank unlocked. You don't have the stim shot yet. You don't have the cloak device yet. You don't have specialist yet. So that's really cool to me. I love that. So progression-wise, the game has me so excited to keep grinding this all year round. Not to mention the level 1000 stretch goals that I kind of hope I can get to this year, but I don't know. That's something where I don't know if by the time I get to max prestige, I'll want to put 1,000 levels more playtime in, but we'll have to see. Maybe the post-launch content will keep me going the whole way through. The next big positive is matchmaking and sense of community. Matchmaking is amazing. The open matchmaking finds you a wide variety of teammates and enemies, and even if the team balancing sucks, like I mentioned earlier, it still feels like you're playing with the CoD community and not being dragged around by the collar of your shirt into lobbies you don't want to be in because you played too well here or you didn't play well enough here. And it just feels like you're playing with your region. It feels like I'm playing with people on the West Coast every match. And I'll bump into the same people multiple matches in a row because they're just in my region. Even if we're not in the same like persistent lobby, but then also we have persistent lobbies. I've been able to fight the same team of people multiple times. I can stay in a God lobby and keep farming people that don't rage quit until like they eventually leave the match. Exclusive Ace used to say that skill-based matchmaking would be a lot less noticeable if lobbies just persisted, and he is so absolutely correct, because just that alone changes the entire way you play. But people are interacting and talking in game chat, and it is a lot of fun again. It feels like I'm playing a different franchise compared to what I've been playing over the last 6 years. And there's just little things too, like the game tells you when your friend's prestige. So when your friend's prestige, you get a notification in game that says your friend has entered prestige 1. And that really harkens back to that old Xbox 360 era where it's like blank has started playing Black Ops 2 or something would pop up on your screen. This game has a cool sense of community with the persisting lobbies and the little notifications about your friends prestiging, and I don't know, it feels like a game that I would love to introduce somebody to CoD through, because it actually feels like it has that element of CoD that CoD's been missing for a long time. Okay, let's speed this up. The next pros I have are gunplay. I think gunplay is really good, solid when the netcode's working and someone's not just framing you with the Maverick or the M15. The gunplay is actually really cool. Weapons actually do have notable recoil. Tying into my next pro, which is Gunsmith. Gunsmith feels really good this year because weapon customization actually matters. Certain weapons don't feel very good, but you can stack different attachments that do the same thing. It's not like Black Ops 6 anymore, where every function that you would want is tied to one attachment per category. It's like you have multiple options now. You have multiple rear grips, stocks, underbarrels, barrels that all can affect your aim down sight speed or your recoil, recoil stabilization, recoil control, horizontal, vertical, first shot recoil. You can actually customize your guns in this game. And I mean that seriously. Black Ops 6 was so bare bones and so uninteresting when it came to weapon customization that just when they added that buffer stock attachment for the M4, the XM4 and BO6, like that was unique because it was one new attachment you could put on the M4 that gave it less recoil. But this game is full of stuff like that, and the prestige attachments are even more fun. They do unique, odd things, or they're just a direct buff to your gun, and I absolutely adore that. So gunplay and gunsmith and gun customization, just great this year. I actually care about gun skill, and especially with the aim assist nerf. The aim assist nerf feels like I'm actually directly involved in every gunfight, and it makes pulling off triple feeds and quad feeds, it makes it feel actually really satisfying, especially when you know that you have an audience watching you that knows you don't have strong aim assist anymore. That feels good. So now you don't get comments of people saying, oh, try that without aim assist. Like, 'cause now there's barely any aim assist. It's super fucking weak. Moving on. We also have streak play. Streak play is fantastic. Streaks are obtainable. They're at a decent score level. While there are ways to cheese to get a little bit way too much score, I don't really care. I like that the streaks are obtainable. You can actually get them, and they are actually strong. They're powerful. They net you multiple kills. They can change the flow of a match. It is worth it to throw on Bankroll and Ghost and Vigilance and go on a streak with a suppressed assault rifle sticking to the edge of the map, because when you call that streak in, you've changed the entire pacing of the game, and that feels good. I'm so glad that's there. I look forward to permanently unlocking the Looper perk, so I can just loop swarms and HCXDs and all that shit. I adore it. And by the way, your streaks do stack. Kills from your streaks do accumulate towards your next score streak. So you can like call in a napalm strike, get a kill with it, and then call in an LDBR that you got from the napalm strike. So being a good player that can stay alive is valued here, and I adore that. And the next thing is loadout customization. I love the loadout customization. While I don't think people should have guaranteed lethals, I think that should be something you have to trade out for like a field upgrade or something. I love picking my lethal, tactical, field upgrade, choosing their overclock, choosing their upgrade, or just like their design essentially, right? Like, do I want the frag grenade that's more powerful or the one that I can throw farther? Do I want the assault pack that I can charge really quickly and get constantly, or do I want the one that gives me bonus score for kills with the ammo? And then stacking the different specialties, the hybrid specialties and the standard specialties. Like Enforcer is still great, just like it was in Black Ops 6. It's great for aggressive gameplay, giving you your health back after every kill. But then also red and blue. Scout is one of my favorites because after every kill, it completely wipes you off the minimap for 5 seconds no matter what you're doing. Even if you're firing an unsuppressed weapon or sitting in a corner, you can use Scout to keep yourself off the minimap the more you keep getting kills. I'm not going to go over every single specialty, but I'm going to tell you right now, being able to combine perks into a hybrid specialty, then I can use perk greed to get an extra supplementary perk. Then I have actual meaningful gun customization. Then I can customize my lethal, tactical, and field upgrade. On the surface, to a non-ball knower, they would think that it's just Black Ops 6's multiplayer and Black Ops 6's create a class, but I can't express to you how much that these things stack together to make an amazing experience. And that leads me to my last big pro. Do believe the hype about the maps. If you're a CoD player and you've been playing CoD long enough to have a preference of map design, Black Ops 7's maps are insane. Black Ops 7's maps are simple yet effective. They're clean yet complicated. They're messy yet really intuitive. They have little things like vents and things you can crawl through and little hidey holes and stuff, but they also are competitive and they're high visibility and they're clean cut. Nobody can agree about maps. You know, they're too big, they're too small, they're too simple, they're too complex. The community's never happy with maps, but you should absolutely believe the hype about the maps in this game. The roster of maps is so refreshing. Being able to play on good, well-designed maps with a lot of variety, and a lot of quantity too, we just have a shit ton of maps. But to have that variety and that quantity, with open matchmaking and persisting lobbies, powerful streaks and meaningful loadout customization, and then a progression system in the background that just always is giving you something. You're always working towards something. You're working towards your next overclock, you're working towards your next attachment, you're working towards your next weapon prestige, your next level. You are always moving forward towards something, and they absolutely nailed this. If you are a fan of Call of Duty multiplayer, Black Ops 7 is an improvement on just about everything we've been dealing with for the last 6 years. And this is coming from somebody that's loved those games despite their flaws. Black Ops 7 is better. On the surface, for people that don't understand the series and don't know what the importance is, like the difference between Modern Warfare 2 and 3, or Modern Warfare and Vanguard, or Cold War and Black Ops 4, the people that don't know the difference between those games and just think all COD's the same, they're not probably going to get this game or care about these nuances and meaningful changes. But if you're a ball knower, if you know COD, this game was made for you. If you were tired of matchmaking just sucking, if you want meaningful progression and good class customization and maps that have really good flow, this is a game for you. If you're somebody who can go on streaks, you are going to absolutely clean house in this game. This isn't a coworker COD game. This isn't a reboot that's a good foundation for the start of the next, several years of COD. This is an improvement and a swan song of this generation of COD, which has had its crazy, crazy lows and pretty impressive highs, if I'm honest. This isn't a redo or a copy and paste of Black Ops 6. This is its own experience with its own vibe, its own tone, its own setting, and an absolute lot of love poured into it with a lot of community feedback being directly implemented into the game. This game feels like it was made by the COD community with just how many things they've done based on our requests, based on our incessant bitching over the last 6 years. So if you are on the fence about giving it a download or buying it, don't be. Give it a try. Hop in. I'm not going to speak towards campaign and zombies because this is a multiplayer channel, but if you're a fan of Call of Duty multiplayer, I think $70 will buy you a lot of content and a lot of fun this year. That's my review. I'm really enjoying myself. Again, hopefully those cons that I mentioned get dealt with, because if they don't, I will have to make a second video that won't be quite so positive because these issues need to be dealt with. That being said, I'm really excited for the rest of this year, and I hope you guys are too. I will see you in the next video. Please hit the bell icon and subscribe to get notified when I go live, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
Hostile personnel have captured the hard point. Establish counter UAV overflight.
Counter UAV above. Electronic countermeasure